Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am ZBest. Today I've got a review on the K-91-PT, the Tier 9 Russian tank destroyer, the Tier 9 reward tank that will be available through Battle Pass. And I will quickly go over the stats of the tank and a quick replay, and I'll share my thoughts on it. Anyways, so this is just tanks.gg, one of my favorite sites. I think this is the loadout I was running. Anyways, has decent DPM actually, so 6.5-second reload with 390 alpha. The aim time did feel a bit long. The accuracy was actually painful at times. The narrow gun arc was very frustrating, I have to say. The view range was fine the way I was running it. The mobility was great. The reverse speed was great, especially for a tank destroyer. Um, the hit points, I mean, it's kind of standard. The the armor was actually like the superstructure is pretty good. You can see that on flat ground it's about 320 effective all around. There's a weak spot up here. These cupolas can be hit, but kind of hard. You can shoot around the gun to 70 effective. Most tier 9s and 10s will go through that, but you'll bounce some. The entire front hull is just an easy pen though, and I think you can actually go through the track and do damage. So the armor, yeah, I mean that's about it. Anyways, let's get into the actual game. So what I realized with the K-91-PT is it kind of has an identity crisis. Like, it wants to be an assault tank destroyer, but it just doesn't have the armor or the gun arc to actually be able to consistently brawl. Same with the height, it's just very low profile, which means it can't actually shoot through windows very well. So you'll see that like the rubble piles come really high up. And like I said, the superstructure armor isn't actually terrible, and the DPM is quite fantastic. So you can DPM tanks down, but your armor just isn't effective enough to actually warrant this sort of gameplay consistently. Like if there was actually something playing against me, there's no way I could do this. As you can see, the forward and reverse mobility is really good. The power to weight is really good. Overall though, I feel like this is a very mediocre tank. Like I said, with the identity crisis that it can't snipe, actually I'll explain why. The penetration is only 315 on the APCR. Having trouble. There we go, 315. Shell velocity is kind of slow. And that shell pen drops quite a bit over distance because it's APCR, of course. So you really can't snipe. And then with the accuracy and the aim time, it's quite difficult as well. So it can't snipe, it can't brawl, it can't shoot through windows. I found that most of my combined damage was actually coming from assistance because I was just able to go spot tanks. Like this is like the person that would pick something like this up is someone that enjoys kind of just YOLOing around and doing damage and being able to DPM tanks down, but it just doesn't do that extremely well. And like I had said before, it doesn't snipe very well either. So And I wouldn't really compare it to any of the other tier 9 reward tanks you can get because all of them are mediocre in their own ways. Like, this one has an identity crisis. The AE Phase 1 is just very, well, average. The, Star Future 4 is just unique. And we'll get to the Panzer as well. Anyways, this is where it does actually shine, is face hugging, especially if you can do what I did. I got myself where he doesn't have the gun depression, so he can't actually pen my superstructure. And of course I just have the DPM to finish him off. Like, this thing does rotate very quickly, so you won't ever get flanked. It does have the DPM that you can track people. And if I haven't said it enough, I just think it has an identity crisis. It doesn't do anything particularly well. It wants to brawl, but it doesn't have the armor where it needs to. And it can't snipe because the gun and the pen is just not good enough for that. I did kind of enjoy playing it though, because who doesn't like going around in something that's quick and fires very quickly? But at the same time, I was very frustrated. I have so many games played in this tank where I would just aim at someone and the shell would miss, or I'd aim and it would bounce, and yeah. Anyways, always go for tracking at the end. Highly recommend it. This is where your rate of fire actually does help, because you can perma-track opponents. Though here you can see that the lack of gun arc really hurts. Like, you're trying to shoot around a corner and you just can't really side scrape, you can't really do anything else. And if you notice, I only have 14 shells left. The actual ammo capacity is quite low as well. So, all that being said, this was a decent game for a tier 9. I mean, 900 assist, 5,000 damage, 3 kills, nothing special, 1300 base XP. Top on damage, wasn't top on XP. Earned a little bit of credits. Most of the credits I spent was on ammunition. This score right here is not very characteristic of the tank because, well, if you're at mid to long range, you seem to miss a lot. So, yeah, there's my review of the K-91-PT. It is completely mediocre, and I don't say that in a bad way. I do think they should release tanks like this where they aren't good, they aren't bad, they're just there. My problem with it is it just has that huge identity crisis where it wants to brawl but it can't, and it just can't snipe. So you really don't know what to do with it. Anyways, I have another review that I will also be releasing after this, so go check it out for the Panzer, and I will see you guys around.